So today I am introducing you to the lovely Alexis Guttridge, who is bringing you a very special part of the summit that you are not going to get anywhere else. So welcome, Alexis.
Hi, Tracy. Thanks for having me.
You're welcome. And Alexis, so you are a meditation mindfulness practitioner, and I've invited you along because I think there's so much benefit in what you do. We all hear about how, stress really does negatively impact our health. And I have a lot of people and speakers who are going to talk about how stress really does get in the way of us being as healthy and getting to the goals that we want. So I see what you do as such a great gift and a great way for people to really learn to manage things like stress. So I'm so glad that you're going to be part of the summit. So you are going to share a meditation that I'm going to put on each of the days of the summit. And do you want to just share with everyone a little bit about you and, why? Because you're also in the low carb space as well.
I am indeed. Thanks for having me, Tracy. I am so excited to be a part of this. And first off, because of low carb, I don't even know, probably discovered low carb through the world of keto a few years ago and have just kind of adapted it into my life now. It's not always perfect, especially during unique times in the world, but it's definitely a way of living for me. I don't look at it as a diet or anything. I look at it as a lifestyle, and I like it, and I'm super supportive of it. So that's probably how you and I connected too, was, through our love, and I've learned so much through Tracy. So yeah, love for low carb. But I think my love for low carb came also through my practice of mindfulness. And so I started practicing on my own probably about 6-7 years ago, going through some really heavy, dark times in my life, some massive life changes, selling companies, moving to the other side of the world. And I got a lot of clarity through this practice of sitting, of just being still. It's so epic and so strong how something so simple can shift everything for us, and truly did for me. And one of the places I saw the biggest shift with mindfulness was how I ate. So my life before diving into meditation and working with large corporations in this practice was in restaurants. So every day I just stand and eat and just shove whatever you gave me down my throat. And that was how I ate. That was my lifestyle. And when I had a day off, I was eating out and I was overeating and I was over drinking. And it was the way I lived my life, but it was super unhealthy. And I started listening. That practice of mindfulness it gave me the permission to slow down. And so it was really simple things in the beginning. I started sitting when I ate. Just notice even a simple thing like if you were to grab a snack, even eating a low carb lifestyle, if you were to grab a snack in the fridge, what if you sat down and you ate it as opposed to just standing in the kitchen while you're getting something ready for your kids or getting the dog, to go out, sitting down. And then it just kind of kept moving from there. Food started to taste differently. Things I didn't like before, I like now. There was just a clear connection and relationship to food through mindfulness, something that I had never had before. Before it was eating to the point of feeling full, as opposed to listening to your body and being present enough to say, oh, hold on. I think I'm good. There's more on my plate, but guess what? I'm going to leave it. And that's the other really big thing I've seen with mindfulness is that we live in a society where it's kind of like, I think it's from many generations. I think about my grandparents, even, clearing your plate. You were a kid, you were told to clear your plate. And I always cleared my plate. I love food. I should also preface, I absolutely love food. And I just do. I love food. but I learned a different way to love it. It didn't mean I have to clear my whole plate and how I fill myself up. So it's about connecting to the present moment through this practice, but it's not going off and sitting on top of a mountain and, closing our eyes and oming. There's a time and place for that. But this practice allows us to incorporate it into our modern days. And I think one of the biggest places it can affect you is how you eat. And so that's why I think it's awesome that you have invited me to be a part of this.
Yeah, what a fascinating journey, because, I think so many of us feel that we can't slow down, that, we're not allowed to stop, that we just have to keep going, we have to keep busy. And I know that what's been going on with COVID-19 and all this, a lot of us being isolated is actually forced a lot of people to confront a lot of that. And I think, we make up all these stories that it's pretty scary to sit and not do anything, because what's going to come up? Well, it becomes very exciting, I think, once you do it, doesn't it? To see what does come up. And there's nothing to fear from that. But I think there's everything to gain from being able to just be still and let your thinking settle and just see what does come up.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and the thing about meditation that I'm a big believer in, and for those of you that join in on my practice that I'll be sharing with all of you, is it's really about making it approachable. It doesn't have to look like anything. I meditate often in my car. I'm not kidding. I find so much peace of just being in my car before I go out to even go into Kohl's, or, before I have to go into a meeting with a new client. 2-3 minutes of just closing your eyes. And maybe you just listen to the sounds outside. And so we can have this reset button whenever we need to. And it really, I'm a big believer in really trying to get rid of this idea of what meditation has to look like. Unfortunately, as society, we have created this very clear idea of the lady or Buddha, sitting in her perfect leggings, perfectly on a cushion. That position in general is not comfortable for the majority of people in modern society. I sit in a chair a lot of days because that's where I'm comfortable. I lie on the floor. So I talk about that a lot in my practices. I will constantly ask you or give you little hints of, are you comfortable? Maybe you should adjust. Because the practice is about being present and listening to what you need. And that goes for your bodies too. Listening to the fuel it needs. Are you full? Or are you just good? And is good enough? Do you have to feel bloated and full to be satisfied? That's my opinion.
Yeah. Oh, I love it. And that's why I love you so much, because you exactly what you just said, that there is no rules, and that, what we make up in terms of rules just stops us from doing so many incredible things in our lives. And it's not just in this field, but in everything. I think there's so much more freedom than we think. And it can start with this small practice can change your life. I mean, you've talked about it on my podcast I'm about to release next week, the episode chat that we did together, and you really talk about your eat, pray, love experience and your, how you were this New Yorker living this just incredible lifestyle that wasn't going to, you didn't want to live like that for the rest of your life, and you just have had a complete change around. And it was you decided this just one step. It wasn't going to be, I'm not going to decide my whole future now, but I'm going to take this one step. And this one step for you was, in this meditation.
Yeah. And I will just add this for any of you that are watching or listening, or, have ever contemplated meditation, or I didn't even know what I was doing when I started. I didn't set out on this journey and say, I'm going to meditate because it's going to make me better. I just started. And I think that's really important for everyone to hear. We all have to start somewhere with whatever we're doing. So we just start. We just see what happens. That's it. There's no end game in this. This is just one day at a time. Because in my strongest beliefs and from the depths of my heart, it all starts with a pause.
Yeah, it does. One of my most favorite quotes is just take the first step and the next will be revealed. So that's all we have to do. Just take that first step and we'll always know what to do next. I love it. I love it. And I'm so glad that you are going to be a part of the summit and make it completely unique. So, you know, thank you so much. And thanks for chatting with me today.
Nice to see you. Can't wait.
Nice to see you too, darling. Bye.